Hello, everybody, live today. I'm so excited to welcome you all to a special 15-minute live from Human Power Solutions. I'm Sandra Coker, CEO of Human Power Solutions and the author of the national bestseller, People Profit: How to Improve Your Bottom Line by Investing in Those Above It. Today, I'm joined live by Jennifer Fondrevay, Chief Humanity Officer and founder of Day1 Ready. She is the M&A Whisperer for CEOs who know synergies don't magically appear. After living through 3 multi-billion-dollar acquisitions from every side, Jennifer wrote a book everyone wishes they'd had. Now What? A Survival's Guide for Thriving Through Mergers and Acquisitions. She's named the #1 M&A speaker by Research Leadership Institute and featured in Forbes, HBR, Fast Company, and she's the go-to expert when uncertainty hits. We're here to tease her powerful People Profit podcast episode on leading with humanity through chaos. Perfect for anyone facing those AI disruptions, reorganizations, or talent shifts. If you've ever wanted a smart strategy, if you've ever watched a smart strategy stall because the people side was ignored, this is for you. Jennifer, hello, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here today. I want to talk a little bit about our podcast episode, which is featured on the People Profit podcast. And I want to talk a little bit here, your journey, right? So you've lived through those 3 multi-billion-dollar deals from every vantage point as the acquired leader, as the integrator, and later the one acquired by private equity. What was a moment that shifted your leadership forever and led you to write Now What and launch Day1 Ready?
I think a couple reasons drove that, but before I launch into that, just thank you for wanting to even have this topic, mergers and acquisitions. Right?
Yeah.
The fact that you're excited, but at the same time, I do think it's pertinent to your audience.
Yeah.
Mergers and acquisitions are on the uptick and continue to be. I think we hit 5 trillion last year. So for me, what led to the writing of the book and what I do now was the fact that after 3 M&A deals, what was a consistent issue was lack of leadership preparedness. Mergers and acquisitions bring a unique challenge to leadership that is different than when you're on a high growth trajectory. You set objectives, you've defined the strategy, and it's execute, go, go, go. In a merger and acquisition, you have a strategy that's untested. You're bringing together organizations and workforces that potentially have very different cultures, and you're trying to figure all of that out at the same time you're trying to hit year 1 valuation targets. And those are not typically successful if you don't have leadership prepared to navigate that. And so for me, that was the driver of writing the book and becoming an M&A whisperer.
Love it. Love it. Your philosophy is simple, yet it's really powerful. Strategies succeed or fail based on how you support your people who are carrying these strategies out. Can you walk us through your guiding principles, humanity first, eliminating uncertainty with clarity, and walking the talk, and why they're non-negotiable in this situation?
Well, I think it starts first and foremost with respect. When CEOs ask me, what's the one thing I need to be thinking about as I go into this deal, as we're about to announce it, I always say, you and the partner on the other side of the table, you set the tone for how this deal will play out. And if the respect that you show one another, the fact that you acknowledge the value that you both bring, right? One shows arrogance and the other is arrogant in their way, that trickles down. And I was actually part of that, my own experience. So to me, foundational to everything is that respect has to be shown and articulated. Why the deal happened, how you both see value and what you bring together. That then also cascades down, but also outwardly to the market demonstrates an understanding of shared purpose, not just lip service to it, but an actual understanding. And for me, that is what consistently leads to deal success. Is that expectation of respect.
And we'll be diving more into that in the episode here as well. So, I love all these insights that we're teasing today to our live audience. So with AI, reorganizations, and this constant disruption, you say that human-centered leadership isn't a soft skill. I agree with you completely. It's the competitive edge. I call it I call it the essential skills, right? How does emotional intelligence and transparency become a differentiator for teams right now?
Well, frankly, and Sandra, you could probably talk about this even much if not more, right? It helps you to stand out in the wave of AI.
Right.
That human-centered leadership, that decision-making, that critical thinking, that ability to absorb what's happening around you, come to a decision and execute against it based on your knowledge as a human being. To me, that's the absolute critical. It's why I talk so much about equally tapping into your gut instinct. Your brain is the most powerful data processor you own. It's been collecting information since you were born. So tapping into that in the face of this AI tsunami, to me, is what has helped to really give companies that competitive advantage, helping their leaders to really up-level that skill.
Yeah, love that. Love that. When you think about part of a merger and acquisition, you're losing something, you're gaining something, there might be grief, associated, to the merger. Can you talk about how do you help organizations kind of lead the organizations through that process?
Well, one is naming it. I think too often people are surprised. Grief at work, like, why would I be experiencing that? And what I talk about in keynotes and workshops is your brain doesn't distinguish between personal change and transition and grief versus business change, and it processes them the same way. Research has shown that through a merger and acquisition, you mourn the future that won't be, because now it's all uncertain, and that's called ambiguous loss. And I can tell you it can happen in a multi-billion-dollar deal, or it can happen in a $10 million deal, or in a $500,000 deal, because it's human nature. It's what you experience. And so articulating that, acknowledging that these feelings are real, is step one. And step two is giving people the time to process. You would never tell someone who's grieving the loss of someone else, hey, hurry up and grieve. Come on, we gotta get going. You have to have that same lens for the grief that can happen as the company is going through change and uncertainty.
Well, this is great. I appreciate you coming on so much, Jennifer. Thank you. These insights are pure gold and exactly why we need humanity first leadership more than ever. So everyone who's listening today, head straight over to the full episode of the People Profit Podcast with Jennifer for the deep stories, the tools, and the frameworks that turn uncertainty into advantage. Subscribe now, like, share this live, and tag a leader who's in the middle of change. Connect with Jennifer at jenniferfondrevay.com. On LinkedIn, we'll put the links below, or email her. Please grab her book, Now What? And check out Day1 Ready for practical M&A and transformational support. Jennifer, thank you so much for being on today, and we really look forward to hearing the full episode very soon.
Thanks.
Have a great day.